Okay, so this is evaluation 4, how we use new technologies in all stages of the production of our music video. So, start with research and planning, I guess.
So start off with YouTube and the internet. So we use YouTube to search songs, look at other music videos, really to build a basis on creating a music video.
Yeah, I think that was sort of just, YouTube was just consistently used throughout. Yeah, because even at the end we use it to upload our own
Music video.
So,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, like I said, the internet. So the internet in general just gave us access to, you know, not only the tools we needed to present that work and keep it media rich, that, you know, some we'll talk about in a minute, but also just to research and get background on what we're doing, help us plan.
I mean, well, one of the things we should start off with was Blogger, because that's the thing we use to present all of our research, all of our planning.
Yeah, and it's a nice way to keep things in order and keep a flow of, you know, from beginning to the end of production.
Yeah.
I mean, well, just
well, I don't know. Blogger was kind of how you presented it, wasn't it? It was all our piece was in Blogger. It wasn't about that was what it was, wasn't it? Our coursework was on Blogger.
Yeah.
The way you presented it and the order of it. It was easy to keep track of what we'd done and haven't done.
Yeah. I mean, well, to start off with, I mean, we use more simple presentation software.
Yeah, well,
Prezi.
yeah, we used a really large variety of different tools depending on what the task was. So, like, for example, that first one, Voki.
Yeah.
Have you used that, I think?
I used Voki in a few of mine just because it's a different way of viewing something, because rather than just listening to it or reading it, it just gives it a bit more off the page feel.
Then we've got Prezi wrote there, which is a big one that we use a lot. In fact, from our SWOT analysis, we actually found out we use it a bit too much in our year 12 production. So we cut down. But it's nice. It's sort of
just easy, effective way, wasn't it? Just demonstrate information.
It's just sort of like a nice, almost like a PowerPoint, I suppose, but a lot more sort of modern
and active, like
a bit more interactive.
It looks more professional, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of software like that we're going to go through. For example, the next one, PictoChart's kind of the same thing.
It's just a different version of PowerPoint, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
with
more photos,
long slides, sort of just going down with a bit more creative.
Looks better, doesn't it? It looks more professional and suited towards
the
music
video.
We use that for our merchandise.
Yeah, I'm also using it to write this evaluation. So, I mean, another PowerPoint one is emails, which is used quite.
Yeah, but I guess the downfall is they're all quite similar, which could take away the media richness of it.
Like, yeah, but we did go on to that. I mean, granted, we did actually use PowerPoint itself and use SlideShare, which is a good tool for uploading and embedding PowerPoints.
Or any office like work, because I mean, I use Microsoft Word quite a lot for using tables, because it's easier to set out a nice table for what you're like for my magazine reviews, getting magazine and the actual
I think we used Scribd for that, didn't we? Scribe.
Yeah.
It was a good tool for uploading Word. Well, again, to embed Word documents, which it's just quite useful, I suppose, because writing straight onto the blog sort of takes out the feel of media richness. I find it's quite.
Well, yeah, writing onto the blog just doesn't look
as nice, does it?
It's not a proper way of.
So Scribe sort of gave us a way to keep basic paragraphing, but keep it rich.
It was for our most basic post really, but without it looking messy. I think in a way it was just a neat presentation way of doing it. Same with kind of the PowerPoint, didn't we? We used all of the Microsoft stuff, PowerPoint and stuff.
I mean, we tried to limit the amount of times we use Microsoft stuff because it's so
common.
It's so common.
Although that is a bonus of knowing it throughout. It's not.
No, I mean, we went on to add variation. For example, we've got Quizlet here, which was it's like a nice little flashcard kind of thing. So you write one thing on one side, flip it over, have nothing else.
It's nice to have a little
keyword in the description. I mean, I think I did that when doing the editing software overview, maybe. And it's just good, and again, it can be embedded, so it just goes nicely with the blog post, right?
I mean, all like Zooburst, where you could just bring photos alive, have them to have speech and stuff, which is another just thing which brings things out.
Kind of a flip book, wasn't it, Zooburst? It was kind of, like you said, more interactive, more pop-up. Yeah, it's like a pop-up book where you can write a caption underneath and then have the pictures pop up, so you can describe each picture and what's happening in a creative way, really.
I mean, keep on talking about the blog and our research and planning stage and keeping it media rich. Another one used was Powtoon. It's quite good. So, branching out from generic presentations, it gave you the opportunity to create like a little animation, kind of cartoon, which was quite fun, as well as, you know, keeping it rich. And I think I did that for the explanation of a music video at the very beginning, actually, so that was quite fun.
I also used Video Ant, which I stumbled across while looking. I guess that was a bonus. Whenever you were looking for presentation software, you always stumbled across new ones.
Yeah.
And for like Video Ant, and on YouTube, it was quite hard to actually analyse a video. That sign in the video had to be yours. So when you're analysing a professional music video, you couldn't do that due to copyright. So Video Ant just allows you to, you know, not without affecting the copyright, just analyse the video. So you're not claiming it as your own. So that was always effective for, obviously, a music video to analyse loads of previous ones. So that was an effective way to just label it second by second of what, you know, was happening and what you thought.
Another big tool I personally like, because obviously research and planning, you always get your mind maps and then your spider diagrams. But instead of keeping it, you know, just drawn and photographed and uploaded, it kind of has a bit of a messy feel. So there's tools out there. The one I use is bubble.us. It's just a website which allows you to make online mind maps and embed them. And I know there were a few others floating around that we also looked at as well. Sort of implement. They all do the same similar thing, really.
One of the creative softwares I used was Halftone. It was a comic-like strip video which allows you to put photos and write text and then bring out the photos into sort of like a short or almost like movie thing, which is good for showing my presentation and my evaluation one that we did.
I guess kind of moving on, another important part of research and planning was actually organising ourselves through software.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
things.
Just through phones and basic messaging.
Such as the iMessage, especially WhatsApp, group chats on WhatsApp was what we ended up, because it's everyone has, even if you don't have an iPhone, you can sort of WhatsApp and you can just use it.
Sort of branching away from just messaging, and that way we sort of not kept in contact, but transported files between us. Was the use of Dropbox.
Dropbox,
it was just, you know, it's free with like a set amount of storage, but it was more than enough for us at the time. Yeah. And it just allowed us to upload and download the different video files wherever we were.
Especially pictures as well.
It's really useful when creating our logo, actually, towards the beginning of the project. I thought it was quite good for transferring between school, home, and between, because me and Christian worked cooperatively on the logo, so it was useful for that transporting the photos from the photo shoot, actually. So that was a good one, I feel.
I mean, at the start, also, we used Dubsmash as well, because that was one of our first prelims. Just mucking around with lip syncing, just trying to get.
I mean, nothing official, obviously, but like you said, lip syncing, because that was quite the challenge with the Year 13 project of a music video, I think. So it was a nice way to sort of get straight into trying to tackle it and have a bit of fun. You know?
Something else about all of these things, they're all free. Everything we used was free, or at least a limited trial. Yeah,
because obviously we're on a budget, you know, we're just students, so that sort of required us to go be a bit more creative. And, you know, explore free options.
And especially we looked at the free app of the week a lot. We always were trying to pick up on. We just kept checking, because often the free app of the week is something to do with video or editing. Something quite editing or something like that is, especially photo editing. I got one. I got a lot of photo editing and stuff like that. We always checked on the free app of the week, and anything with social, anything that applied to us.
Because social was quite a big deal. I mean, research and planning. We built our company and our branding name. So we built our company and our branding name, and to do that, we utilised social media, social networking, just because it's free, isn't it? You know,
and we can share things.
It's very much a consumerism way of using what's available to you, because obviously you can get words out, be popular, and obviously
from like research we did into other professional bands, they use Instagram especially, and Twitter to announce their music videos, because it's direct to their fan base. So we thought, as a production company, especially, and as the band, we should do the same thing and try and get it directly to our fans to make them feel more appreciated, as opposed to just releasing it on the news or something.
During research and planning, obviously the key thing to us was obtaining a version of the song and being able to listen to it repeatedly and plan out our storyboards, etc., all of our narrative ideas, performance ideas, And one way to do that was through the use of SoundCloud and iTunes or Apple Music, whatever it's called now.
Spotify.
Sorry,
And Spotify,
and
iTunes, Spotify,
yeah.
and SoundCloud all came in helpful.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, SoundCloud we sort of probably use more to upload our own podcasts.
Yeah.
And so we could embed them into our blog to help show our progression again. So probably not as much there, but Spotify was huge.
We were quite lucky with Spotify though, because we all kind of had it anyway.
Yeah.
We all listened to, because Spotify is free, but not.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the research and planning stage, but we'll go on to construction later.
Yeah.
Spotify even played a big role there because it allowed us to play the song on scene during recording, and that became quite useful when trying to lip sync it up later on in post production.
And it was also quite helpful because we could search for different songs and whatever songs we liked between us.
Yeah, I guess in research and planning, everyone used Spotify to search their own song. Our initial ideas,
Yeah.
We all used Spotify to search for our own
we all
song.
came together at the beginning and we put forward our own ideas.
Yeah, before deciding on our Rising idea, we used Spotify to look at our own.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before moving on to construction, there's a couple more things to put out. We use Flipagram, so it's the thing where you make lots of images appear. Isn't it?
It's good for showing like a diary of a day
Kind of
shooting
like a
or
montage sort of thing, isn't it?
it's kind of anything you do. You don't need to talk about it in depth as much. Just things happening over the course of a day.
Yeah.
You can just quickly flip through.
And Journalate. I didn't use that personally. Did anyone? I know Christian used it.
It was. I used it once. I believe it's like a word
journal entry. I assume. Isn't
it's
it?
like Christian used it, I believe, for a diary shooting scheduled, which basically you could put a date on it and you'll say what you did and why you did it. You could put some images with it. Yeah. It's just another thing to use instead of
another couple of ways to keep it media rich, like we did. So, I mean, there was probably a few we haven't mentioned, but because like we said, there's loads. There's absolutely loads. And a lot of them do similar things. But these are sort of the top ones that we felt probably we utilised the most. So I suppose moving on to the construction stage.
Yeah.
Hardware played a pretty huge role here.
Oh yeah.
You guys want to kick off?
Well, I mean, obviously one of the most important things was our cameras.
Yeah.
Now we were actually lucky at the start to have Christian's Canon Legia at the start, which was a really good camera.
Yeah, it was a professional video camera.
Which made it a lot easier to handle as well for the pans and stuff. Because with obviously the iPhones, which was
for very sort of accurate angles we wanted it, because it gave us.
We were used, especially in year 12 and last year, our phone cameras, which we still use a lot this year.
We are lucky. We live in a day and age where our phone can be a camera, and that's obviously
and it's as good.
Yeah, exactly. This is on my phone.
But with a Canon, it's a handheld. It
just takes it to the next level.
Yeah. The way you use the camera, which was actually quite new to, I guess, a few of us, but it was so much easier, wasn't it?
Skills and stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But we only had it for a limited time, obviously.
I mean, we even used the iPads to record points. I mean, granted, I don't think they were as good as the phones.
It's quality.
We use a variety of tools to record, so the phones, the iPads.
It's not just about the construction of our actual piece, it was for all the blog and that. We used iPads
like
for
we
the
said,
blog.
We're recording this now.
Yeah, phones. And
so,
I did a lot of actual written work on my iPad. And
not just videos as well. We did a lot of photos, for example, behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. That was quite a big one. And obviously for the digipacks and the ancillary tasks. And the branding, and like I sort of said earlier, the logo for the photo shoot for that. So photos came quite big.
Another piece of hardware we used was a tripod for when doing the walking scene.
All those sorts. We used selfie sticks obviously because they work with our phones. Tripod for the
walking scene because it was just easy to have it at the same time.
Stability of the shot.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later in post production. But it was actually a bit of a problem. It required us to do some reshoots because the stability of the shot really made the effecting question being that the band members disappeared as they walked down the road. So we had to go back and do that. We had a bit of a problem at first. We had to duct tape the phone to the tripod because the tripod didn't quite work. But we got over it and we fixed the problem. Like you said, students on a budget, take what we can get.
I mean, when it actually came to the production side of it, which where the band performed, the performance aspect,
the studio, the drama room.
In the drama room, we actually had our own lighting, manipulate the lighting, which it was new, and we played around with a lot, didn't we? We didn't really think about it before.
I think what we sort of did was we didn't change it through the video. We sort of messed about before, got a preset we liked,
But I mean, obviously, different colours represent different things. You wanted different. It changed
we had
the
a
different
bit of red,
lighting.
didn't we? I think.
Yeah.
We had a bit of red to give that extra sort of grungy feel to it.
Yeah, but we saw with the extra light, like dark and light, especially with shadows as well.
Especially from like back to our research and planning stage, you know, researching pre-existing rock genre music videos. That's what we found. They were just usually quite dark.
Yeah, so we actually manipulate the lighting ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a nice opportunity actually to try that, something new. So
that was a bit of hardware we could use.
And the gyroscope we've got right there, which is also a new tool. You don't really use a gyroscope with a phone. So Chris's camera came with a gyroscope, so we sort of tried that. We didn't really use it for many of our shots because, as Ryan was saying, sort of just the handheld accessibility of the camera itself was really quite good. We felt more comfortable with that. But we gave it a try for some moving shots, and it was useful, I suppose, in the long run. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about hardware, I guess.
No,
pretty much.
I know it doesn't really count, but Ryan's driving. That was quite useful. Ryan passed his tests, and the rest of us can't drive. So from one location to another.
Yeah, because obviously you have to focus on time of day.
Yeah, that's also because we filmed in the winter, didn't we?
Yeah, time of day. It was very short days.
And we want to go and film our road shot. By the time we get there, it's already dark.
Or school rush.
Yeah.
So
that was useful.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, editing post production. Which we sort of have fewer points because we're just going to list some softwares, but they were used an awful lot, I feel, personally. So, I mean, I'll just knock off the top ones that I used for making the video itself. Was Sony Vegas Pro 13 for some of the shots, and the disappearing shot, although originally the disappearing shot was made, the base was made in After Effects, but I felt I was overcomplicating it. So I moved over to Sony Vegas just because its transition and opacity control tools were just sort of a lot simpler, and it needed to be simple. And in the main body of video editing was on Adobe Premiere Pro, which allowed us to cut up the video, put it together, take out the audio from the recorded clips because you can't record on your phone without recording audio, put in our music video, move it around, lip sync it till we got it the way we liked, colour graded it. I sort of did half in After Effects, half in Premiere Pro. That was quite nice, giving it again the darker, grungier feel from the conventions we found from researching pre-existing text. And and then just rendering it out and then being able to upload it. I know you guys used it at one point.
We used Premiere Pro for the lyric video because it was a good way of putting lyrics into or fitting into the actual song, which was nice. So they sort of just the words sort of mashed up.
Right, and they like to implement text, doesn't it?
Text, which was really handy and useful.
Yeah, I mean another one, just a small one, iMovie. Like we said, we always have our phones or our iPads on us, our Apple devices, and iMovies. It's free,
really rough,
and it's basic. And I mean, we laugh because obviously it wasn't anywhere as good as our finished product, but in the short term, a really rough cut allowed us to give us a sequence of events and show us what shots we needed. So
and even when it came to
useful
videos for the blog.
We're back. Obviously, one of the limitations of using phones is storage. That became quite a bit of a problem on some of the sets sometimes. But moving on, so move on to the last bit. Actually, we was briefly talk about Photoshop, a last editing software we used, which I think all of us use in depth at some stage or another. You guys?
Yeah, I got the free app of the week, was the Photoshop, but an app version, so it was much more simpler than the computer version of the Photoshop, but the iOS version was really, really helpful because it had all the basic functions that you needed. So, layers, you could cut and paste, you could merge things together, lighting, everything we needed for our...
Yeah, I think I sort of said a minute ago that the good thing about Photoshop is whether you're advanced or a beginner, everyone can utilise it in some way, which obviously was useful for us as students. So, I mean, I know personally me and Chris used it a lot for the development of our company logo. So the skull and the flowers and that. We come up with many different designs, obviously, so we spent quite a bit of time on Photoshop. And
we used Photoshop for the merchandise, that was always a good thing. So just playing around with different colours.
Yeah, because obviously we didn't actually produce merchandise. Obviously no budget. So editing software allowed us to sort of pitch ideas
Yes.
for what we would create if we could, and if it was a real product on the market kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just used throughout, we use it to
Magazine
edit.
adverts.
Yeah, we use it even just on our blog to keep it media rich. We edit
Yeah.
photos and put them up there, and I know we use it on the ancillary tasks. So
Yeah.
you use it on the Digipack, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
Digipack.
And then
And you guys use it
with
on the
the
magazine,
magazine
like you were
advert.
saying, yeah. So it was just used consistently throughout Photoshop. It was just there, allowing you to manipulate photos from color grading, cropping, trimming, adding, all you know what Photoshop does. So yeah, photos played quite a big role as well as videoing, because obviously all when you think of music video, don't generally think of just photos. So, but that played quite a big role throughout the research and planning, construction for behind the scenes photos, and at the editing stage of the production of our music video. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
I'm good.
Yeah, valuation 4.